Oh, yes, lamb chop. Yes, lamb chop. This is a very powerful and magical day. Hey, Tivies! It's Psychic Bob, also known as Lord Icy on my Wiccan title. Welcome to Wiccan Wednesday. Welcome to Imbulk. Happy Imbulk to all of you. What's that, lamb chop? Yes. Yes, everybody here is going to celebrate him, but we're all excited about Imbulk today. Welcome, welcome. What's that? Well, yes, I may let you light some candles later. He wants to light some candles. Well, that's what we do at Imbulk. We light candles. Well, welcome. Why don't you go over there and sit down, okay? What's that? Oh, yes. Okay. Well, yeah, all right. Let's see all's here. Oh, look, volcanic ice is here. Yay. Joey's Mystery is here. Baroness Colabobs is here. Baroness Colabobs is our moderator. Yay. Thank you for your moderating tonight. Look, let's see. Who's there? Bela Claire is here. Sandra Juskin is here. Jenna is here. Welcome, guys. Welcome to our show. Welcome to Wiccan Wednesday. There's Ariel Rogers. Look, oh, Brandon Caldwell's here. Yay. Kim Osborne's here. Hello, Honey Drizzle's here. Yay. Bela Claire, Prepper Chicken Texas is here. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, guys. Isn't it great to have all of you here? Oh my gosh, isn't that wonderful? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll bring you back in just a while. Why don't you sit down so I can talk to everybody? Okay, go on over there. Go on. There you go. Lamb chop symphony. Yes, sit right there by the window. Okay, very good. Yay! Hello, Tubies. It's Psychic Bob, aka Lord Iceon here. Welcome. How do you like my newest treasure? Huh? Thank you. Brandon Caldwell says, that is beautiful crown. This is a new crown I just had custom made. There's a wonderful lady, Baroness Colabobs. I forget the name of her shop. Maybe you can get her a plug. Rachel is her name, and she makes beautiful Wicking crowns. This was custom made for me. In fact, I'll take it off and show it to you so you can get a good look. I wore this today because it's Imbulk. I've been wearing my crown today, celebrating in between work. So this is beautifully done crown. It's all handmade in silver and gold. It's got antlers. I don't know if you guys can see it. Little antlers like the Horned Lord. And it's got little rubies inset in the antlers, little jeweled points. And then it's got leaves around the base. And then up here, it's got a crescent moon. And then a triquetra with a little emerald inset, a dangling emerald. And then a pentacle. And it's got leaves at the base. You see and there's like a sun right in the middle is the sun, like the Sun Lord. And it's got more antlers. And it's got more rubies in it. You see little red jeweled stones, little rubies. So it's emerald and ruby and crown. But I just love it. Rachel makes these herself by hand. I was talking to her and I said, I've been wanting a Wiccan crown. And she literally just sketched one. And she said, what do you think of this design? I said, oh my God, you need really beautiful stuff. And then she started putting it together for me. Hold on, I'm having trouble keeping it on. It's sliding down. But yeah, this is my new Wiccan crown. And I hope you guys like it. Huh? How's that look? It's like about me styling and profiling my Wiccan crown. There you go. You guys really like that? Oh, that's so good. I'm saying, oh my gosh. B. Leclerc says, wow, beautiful crown. Honey says, I noticed the antlers first on the crown. Yay. Volcanic Guy says, that detailing is beyond a theory. Yeah, it's just beautiful work, She's done Nicola, Baroness Colabobs, a lot of crowns as well. Baroness Colabobs bought a crown from her, and I said, that is beautiful. And then I started talking to Rachel, and she said, I can make you a crown. So I got my high priest crown on tonight. Is that beautiful? And Baroness Colabobs, maybe you can put her store in the chat, and we can get her some business that people want to buy from her. Her prices, they're a little pricey. I'm not going to lie. They ain't cheap, but you're paying for really beautiful handmade quality stuff, So here we are at Imbulk, and I had to come and wear my crown with you guys. And happy Imbulk to all of you. We're going to talk about Imbulk tonight, what it is, how you can celebrate it, and it's just kind of cool that it's actually Imbulk and it happens to be Wiccan Wednesday. By the way, let me show you what else I'm wearing today. Now, I'll explain more of this. I'm wearing my Green Man shirt. Look at that. Isn't that cool? In fact, let me take my sweater off. It's an all-over Green Man pattern. You see it's got leaves and stuff all over it. And then I'm wearing my Pan playing his flute pendant. Can you see that? So PsychicBob is all styling, wearing my Green Man, my Pan. We're going to talk about what all this means tonight, and Imbulk and how you can attune to it. I'm just glad you guys are here. Welcome. By the way, before we get into everything, got a few important announcements. We still have 2 spots available, or is it 1 now? 1 or 2 spots left for this Sunday's class, for the rune class. So if you're interested in joining it, we're going to do the magic of runes on Sunday. It's a private class, Psychic Bob's Inner Circle. I limit it to 10 people only. And we were full, but then 2 people had some family emergencies and they had to withdraw. So I still have 2 spots available if you want to come and join us. So anyways, just contact me at my website. Just shoot me an email over at PsychicBob.com. And that way I'll put you on. I'll send you out your invoice. The price of the class is only $50. It's 2 hours of training. We're going to look at the runes, how to read the runes. What is the magic power? I'm going to give a little rune reading for people who want it. And also as part of the inner circle, you can ask private questions as well and be part of, bring your private questions. So it's a great way to connect with me. Maybe you don't want to buy a full hour reading right now, but you want a little psychic help. We allow that. We do some private psychic help in the class as well as teaching. So I do an hour of teaching, and then we do an hour of psychic questions. So if you'd like to be part of that, it's $50. I limit it to only 10 people. That way everybody gets quality time with me. So, hopefully you'll consider that, okay? I'd love to have you there. Well, also don't forget this Saturday we have psychic development class as well. And this Saturday I'm teaching a class on spiritualist phenomena, seance phenomena, how to do seances. If you want to join the seance class, that's going to be on Saturday at 12 o'clock noon on Zoom. The Saturday class, you can actually just buy that at my website. It is on the website. So not to confuse you, the Saturday class is on seances. You can just buy that directly at my website. That's $30. The Sunday class is not on my website. You need to write me if you want to be in because I have limited space in that one. So Saturday, Psychic Development. Sunday is Inner Circle. Now you can join both classes. You don't have to have any previous experience. Just come out and join us. We'd love to have you, okay? Hi, Kim Osford. She says, you're styling with royalty. Oh, blessings. Thank you, Kim. So yeah, there's Joey Mystery Joey says, hey Bob, I've been stressing out and feeling like unfortunately under attack. My headache has been getting worse. Well, Joey, we're going to talk about Imbulk today. Maybe some of what we talk about is going to help you feel better, okay? I'm sorry you're under the weather. Psychic people, I mean, you're very psychic, I know, or we're very sensitive. Right now, the energies are a little crazy. So, I don't know if you got to see yesterday, we did an astrology forecast. On Monday. You might want to go see Monday's video on astrology because I talk about all the crazy energies of the week. So we'd love to have you hang out with us. But that's, you're probably experiencing some astrological transits, as well. There's just a lot going on. Well, here we are at Imbulk. And Imbulk is a magical time. One of my favorite holidays. It's a major Sabbath. And I thought I'd read to us a little bit about Imbulk from my Book of Shadows. So hold on a second. I got 20 million things on my desk here. And we're going to talk about some of the rituals of Imbulk. So this is from my Book of Shadows. It's my page I have saved on Imbulk. And I thought I'd just read to you some of the highlights of Imbulk, and then we'll talk more about the rituals of Imbulk. But it is so good to have all of you here. I'm really excited, you know. Hold on, I got to drink some water. I just saw Colin Bob says you got to drink some water. I think that was a message for somebody else, but I'll take it as well. So what is Imbulk? Well, today is actually Imbulk. Imbulk falls every year on February the 2nd. And here we are. It's February the 2nd, at least in the United States. If you're in Australia, forgive me, it's already passed, but hopefully you are with us here, okay? So according to my Book of Shadows, it says Imbulk, major Sabbath, high holiday, fire festival. That's right. This is all about fire. It falls on February 2nd when the sun reaches 15 degrees in Aquarius. That's right. We're in Aquarius now. All right. So the animals and mythical beings associated with this holiday are the firebird, the dragon, the groundhog, the deer, all burrowing animals, ewes, robins, sheep, lambs. Oh, Lamb Chop. Look, come here, Lamb. Oh, hold on. Lamb Chop's got to see this. Look, Lamb Chop. Yeah, come up here. Yeah. Yeah, there you are. Look what it says on our Book of Shadows page. It said the animals of Imbulk include lambs and sheep. I think that's you, isn't it? So this is a special day for you. You get a blessing. See, Lamb Chop's getting a blessing on Imbulk. And other creatures waking from hibernation. Have you been hibernating? No? Okay, well, that's good. You've been awake every day with me. Well, there you go. So lambs and sheep are also part of Imbulk. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. Now, you want to go over there and sit down? Yeah, okay, go on. Yes, so right over by the window. All right. Now, what else we got going? Well, the gemstones, okay, if you want to work with gems and crystals, the gemstones of Imbulk are the amethyst, the garnet, onyx, and turquoise. Ooh, I love all of those stones. You know, I'm a big garnet person because I have a January birthday. So garnet is my favorite stone. Amethyst is the stone of February. So if you're Aquarius or a Pisces, you know, in February, amethyst is your stone. But in January, either Capricorn or Aquarius in January, it's garnet, you know. All right, what do we want to talk about? Incense and oils. Well, the incense and oils are jasmine, rosemary, frankincense, cinnamon, musk, olive, sweet pea, basil, myrrh, and wisteria, apricot, and carnation. So all of those are the scents and oils, the herbal remedies of this of this holiday. Now, if we're going to burn candles, which we're going to talk more about that in detail, but the colors of candles are brown, pink, red, orange, white, lavender, pale yellow, silver, and green. So those are some Imbulk candle colors, all right? So if you have any of those, you can light this. And if you don't have any of those, just light a white candle, you know. Some of the foods, the tools, symbols, and decorations of Imbulk include white flowers, marigolds, plum blossoms, daffodils, Bridget's wheel, Bridget's cross, candles, grain and seed for blessing, red candles in a cauldron full of earth, breed's bed, birchwood, snowflakes, snow in a crystal container, evergreens, homemade besom of dried broom, orange candle anointed in oils. And it says, see above, can be used to symbolize the renewing energy of the sun's rebirth. And this is what we want to keep in mind. When we talk about Imbulk, it is a fire festival. It's about light, okay? And I'll get into the mythology here, but let's just review real quick. The goddesses of this holiday are all virgin goddesses, okay? Now, for those of you who are Catholic, you could honor Virgin Mary today as well. Venus, Diana, February, the Maiden, Aradia, Athena, Inanna, Vesta, and we're going to talk about Vesta, Gaia, Bridget, Selena, Bronwyn, and Bronwyn. So those are some of the goddesses. Isn't that amazing? And then the gods are the young sun god, Pan, Cupid, Eros, and Dumue, Sumerian god, Dumue. So these are some of the gods and goddesses. Now, what is the essence of Imbulk? According to the Book of Shadows, it says conception, initiation, insight, inspiration, creativity, mirth, renewal, dedication, breath of life, life path, wise counsel, plans, and preparation. All right. What is the purpose? It's honoring the virgin goddesses, festival of the Maiden of Light. Okay. Now, the dynamics and the meaning of the holiday: first stirring of Mother Earth, lambing, growth of the sun god, the middle of winter. And what rituals and magics could we do? Well, we could do cleansing, purification, renewal, creative inspiration, purification, initiation, candle work, house and temple blessings, welcoming Bridget, feast of milk and bread. Isn't that wonderful? Now, some of the customs that can also are part of this holiday is lighting of candles, seeking omens of spring, storytelling, cleaning house, bonfires, indoor planting, stone collecting. Candles keep burning from dusk till dawn, and hearth relighting. Okay. So anyways, we're going to just pause. There's so much more, but that to give you a little bit of insight. We're going to talk about that. Now, there are some goddesses and gods that are honored. And today I'm wearing the green man because during Imbulk, if you go outside, you may find little green sprouting buds on some plants because the green man is starting to emerge back into the world. Also, I'm wearing Pan. Let me see if I can take this off. This is the god Pan. He's the horned lord. And this is him dancing as a young boy playing his pan pipes, his flute. And what happens at Imbulk, the mythology is that the goddess gave birth to the god back at Yule. You remember at Yule, Christmas time, around that time, 21st of December, the sun god was reborn into the earth. Now that we're into February, we are all noticing, at least in the northern hemisphere, our days are getting a little longer. And so we're noticing that the sun, instead of setting at 4 in the afternoon, is now setting closer to 5 in the afternoon or 6 o'clock. So our days are getting longer. And what that represents is that the sun god's power is growing. He's getting a longer life. He's getting stronger. He's bringing life back to the earth. We celebrate the goddess because she is now recovering from her time of rest after childbirth. And she herself is starting to renew the earth. So we have a combination of the power of the god, the sun emerging, and the goddess bringing forth lush greenery. And the Lord and the Lady are bringing life back to earth. Very magical, wonderful time. I thought we'd go over here and also look at what Scott Cunningham has to say about this holiday. So let's look at my favorite Wiccan book, Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary. Let's see what Scott Cunningham has to say, okay? Oops, hold on a second. All right, so Imbulk. What it says here is Imbulk. Imbulk, February 2nd, marks the recovery of the goddess after giving birth to the god. The lengthening periods of light awaken her. The god is a young, lusty boy, but his power is felt in the longer days. The warmth fertilizes the earth, the goddess, causing seeds to germinate and sprout. And so the earliest beginnings of spring occur. Oh, I just love this. I'm feeling it. I'm ready for it. This is a Sabbath of purification. After the shut-in life of winter, haven't we all been kind of locked up in our houses, huh? Through the renewing power of the sun. It is also a festival of light and fertility, once marked in Europe with huge blazes, torches, and fire in every form. Fire here represents our own illumination and inspiration, as much as light and warmth. Imbulk is also known as the Feast of Torches, Oimilk, Lupercalia, Feast of Pan, and I love Pan because I'm wearing him. Snowdrop Festival, Feast of the Waxing Light, Bridget's Day, and probably by many other names. Some female Wiccans follow the old Scandinavian custom of wearing crowns of lit candles, but many more carry tapers during their invocations. I don't think I want real candles on my head, but that's what some people do. This is one of the traditional times for initiations into covens, and so self-dedication rituals, such as the one outlined in chapter 12, can be performed or renewed at this time. And I want to just pause there and just kind of reflect on that, because many of you have written to me and you said, Psychic Bob, Lord Ision, I feel called to this path of Wicca, but I don't know if I can do it. Can I do it? Well, right now, while the sun's power is growing, devote yourself to the craft. Just do a little ritual. If you don't know what to do, maybe just get a glass of grape juice or wine, light a candle, and tell the gods of your intent. Let them know that you want to walk the path. This would be a wonderful time for you to put energy into that. You see? Now, Scott also has another section where he goes into the rituals of Imbulk. I won't read the whole ritual, but we'll just touch in on some of the points here. And for his Sabbath, he says, oops, hold on, my crown's falling off here. All right. Yeah, hold on, guys, my crown's. All right. So he says, oh, I'm going to put this on just a minute here. I can't do this and read. All right. So Imbulk. Thank you for your donation, City. City Chassis's just doing $4.99. Yo, Bob, my Imbulk has been a day of clearing out my closet of my summer clothes and study. See, ritual of purification. There you go. Okay. That's wonderful. Thank you for your donation. I think it's a great time to do spring cleaning as well. I've been working on that as well. All right. So Imbulk is February 2nd. It says a symbol of the season, such as a representation of a snowflake, a white flower, or perhaps some snow in a crystal container, can be placed on the altar. An orange candle anointed with musk, cinnamon, frankincense, or rosemary oil, unlit, should also be there. Snow can be melted and used for the water during the circle casting. And it says, arrange the altar, light the candles and censer, and cast the circle. Recite the blessing chant on 132. Invoke the goddess and god. Say words such as the following. Here's a little invocation. This is the time of the Feast of Torches, when every lamp blazes and shines, to welcome the rebirth of the god. I celebrate the goddess, I celebrate the god. All the earth celebrates beneath its mantle of sleep. Isn't that beautiful? And then it says, light the orange taper from the red candle on the altar. Slowly walk in the circle clockwise, bearing the candle before you. Say these or similar words. All the land is wrapped in winter. The air is chilled and frost envelops the earth. But the Lord of the sun horned one of the animals in wild places, Unseen you have been reborn of the gracious Mother Goddess, Lady of all fertility. Hail, great God. Hail and welcome. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, we got another donation. City of the Shadow Seas, $1.99. Thank you, City. I also gathered a jar of snow water today. All right, there you go. You're right in line with what Scott suggests. See, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. And it says Imbulk lore. It is traditional upon Imbulk at sunset or just after the ritual to light every lamp in the house, if only for a few moments, or light candles in each room to honor the sun's rebirth. Alternately, light a kerosene lamp with a red chimney and place this in a prominent part of the home or a window. If snow lies on the ground outside, walk in it for a moment, recalling the warmth of summer. With your projective hand, trace an image of the sun in the snow. So there you go. There's some ways that you can kind of start to bring in some of that solar energy, that Imbulk energy. Isn't that wonderful? I just love that. That's taken from Scott Cunningham's Wicca, Guide for the Solitary, Now, also, I wanted to show you, we're talking about the god, and we'll talk about him also, but I want to show you some goddesses. Many people honor this as Bridget's Day as well. Now, this is Saint Bridget, but she's really taken from the pagan goddess. You'll notice that she's holding a solar cross, or it's called Bridget's cross. It's actually an ancient symbol of the Sabbat of the 4 seasons, spring, summer, winter, and fall. And then she's holding a flaming bowl of fire. That's the fire, Bridget's fire. And do you know that this day, there's a monastery in Ireland where they actually keep a perpetual fire burning. But that's actually a continuation of the pagan priestesses of Bridget who had a perpetual fire. So the pagan tradition became a Catholic tradition. But I've now heard that there's a new pagan priesthood that are now honoring Bridget as a goddess, and they've started a fire as well. So there are a few places in the world where there are actual perpetual fires. And on Imbulk, that fire is renewed, okay? So Bridget is one fire goddess. She's the Celtic fire goddess. And this holiday honors her. Now, one of my other fire goddesses that I honor at this time is the goddess Vesta. As it said in our sheet, this is my beautiful statue of Vesta. Let's see if I'm bringing it close. You'll notice in her hand, she's holding a flame. Can you guys see that? This is the goddess, a Roman goddess. And they kept a perpetual flame going to her and to honor her. And I think she's beautiful, don't you? So I keep this on my altar, and I light I'm out of candles. In fact, I got to go. All days I ran out of tea lights. I burned this one out this morning, and I thought I had another, but I'm going to light another one to her. But I keep a red glass container here on my altar, and this set right in front of her as a flame. It's funny that on Imbulk, the fire went out, but it's tradition to renew it, so it's okay. But there's the goddess Vesta, who you can also honor. Notice in her hand, let's see if I'm right, she's holding flame. Her Greek name is Hestia, and she was the hearth goddess. So Vesta or Hestia, same person. But you might want to explore honoring her also at this time. So you see, we've got a lot of different options for this holiday. I'm honoring the god aspect. I mean, I honor the goddess too, but I always say the moon is for the goddess and the Sabbats are for the god. And so today I'm honoring Pan, and I've been doing rituals to Pan and to the Green Man. Now, many people say that Pan and the Green Man are the same being, and I actually think there's evidence that points to that. So whether you honor the goddess's flame or you honor Pan's growth or the sun god, doesn't matter, but they're all interconnected, So I thought today what we would do is do an invocation to Pan. I've got an invocation here from my Book of Shadows. Isn't that beautiful? And then we would light a candle to celebrate Imbulk. Okay? So let us gather. Let's just take a moment, center ourselves, and we'll do this invocation now, okay? O great God Pan, beast of man, shepherd of goats, and lord of the land, I call you to attend my rites on this most magical of nights. God of the wine, God of the vine, God of the fields, and God of the kine, attend my circle with your love and send your blessings from above. Help me to heal. Help me to feel. Help me to bring forth love and wealth. Pan of the forests, Pan of the glade, be with me as my magic is made. So mote it be. So mote it be. And we're going to light our candle now. So I have a beautiful golden candle holder, which is represent the solar power. I have a beautiful green candle. And we're going to just go ahead and light this now. Hail, sun god, welcome. We call you back. Hail, may you be blessed. May you grow in power. May your light warm us. May we be inspired, renewed. With the lighting of this candle, I invite all of you now to make a wish. Look into the flame. Call upon the power of the reborn sun god. Ask for his light to give you what you need. I'll be silent just for a moment while you think about what you want and ask the light to bless you. So now I shall be silent. Gracious Lord of the sun, whether we call you Pan, Lu, Osiris, Apollo, by all the names you are one God, Dionysus, Pan, Faunus, whatever name you call the god or no name, the God's light is with us now. Great God of the light of the growing sun, thank you for blessing our lives. May we receive the blessing that we have invoked. May your light shine as a testimony of your holy mystical power. And as you grow each day in the light and power, may we also grow in your light and power. I ask now that all who are here receive the blessing of the light. And so here I say with this flame, here this pentacle I lay for each of you now, blessing by night, by day. So mote it be, and so mote it be. So we will place our candle in its brass holder. And here is the light of Imbolc. Guys, I don't have a place to sit it where I can let you see it, so I'll bring it back before we close out. I'm going to have to set it over here. But I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you. Let's see, put it right here. Even it's hard to see the flame. I want to say thank you to all of you who are here tonight. I hope that this Imbolc time will be a time of renewal, of inspiration, of new beginning. You know, if you're at a place in your life where you just feel overwhelmed, I know Joey's been having a hard time lately. This light is healing light. It is renewal of the spirit, renewal of the body, renewal of the mind. All of the power of the sun god is with us. whether he's the green man, the sun god, Pan, doesn't matter which form of the god you honor, or even form of the goddess. The truth is all gods are one god, and all goddesses are one goddess. And so whatever form you call, you will receive their blessing into your lives. And so at this time of Imbulk, I really want you to embrace this flame that we've set tonight. I'm going to let this candle burn all night. It is going to go back on my altar and sit. And I am invoking that the blessing of this flames for all of you here tonight. So if you feel overwhelmed, you feel your life is at an end, I want you to know there's one person tonight, me, if nobody else is helping you, Psychic Bob, Lord Ision, has got this candle going. It's going to burn on my altar all night for all of you. So wherever you are, if you think nobody cares, I want you to say, you know what? Lord Ision has that flame, the sacred flame going for me tonight. And I want you to claim that for yourself because I am burning it for all of you. And so this is a night of celebration. And you might not be feeling like celebrating, some of you. But I want you to try. I want you to try to find the light. And tonight, if no other night, just for tonight, say, I'm setting aside my fears. I'm setting aside my anxiety. And tonight I'm going to celebrate the light. Let us find thanks, you know. Thank you so much, guys. I see your blessings. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Gary. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you. Gary says, Psychic Bob, blessings to you. Thank you. Morgan LaFay. Hey, Morgan. Morgan says, thank you, Lord Ision. Thank you. Honey Drizzle says, gratitude, Baron Bob. Thank you. Rob says, thank you, Bob. You guys are welcome. I'm so glad. Nigella says, Bob, we are having a blizzard here in Albuquerque. I know your brother is here in New Mexico. Wonder if he's getting it too. It's just gorgeous. I spoke to him briefly today, but we haven't got to catch up because he's been busy. So I'll call him later tonight and find out what's going on. But thank you for being here and thank you for telling me. So for all of you tonight who feel alone or abandoned or scared, know that the world is moving. Remember, we always talk about our zodiac wheel spinning, right? Well, the sun is renewing too. As the wheel of the zodiac turns, the sun is growing in power. So this candle tonight will be my prayer. And I'm literally going to keep it burning all night long for all of you. So you can count on this candle and know that it's here for you. And if you wake up at 3 in the morning and saying, oh, I'm feeling anxious again, just pause and visualize this light. Say, wait, I know Bob's got that candle. Try to go in your mind's eye to see this beautiful candle. Now, I'm burning a green candle today because for me, I'm starting to see little sprouts of green, and that inspired me today. And so since I wore my Green Man shirt, you know, and I'll show that to you, those who haven't just come here. I'm wearing Green Man, the renewal of the earth. I'm wearing Pan, who's one of my favorite gods. He's a young Pan. We've got our candles going. And for all of you, I wore my special crown today. You see, my new Wicking crown. So today is a day to honor the light. It's a day to renew your commitments. You know, purify your lives. Let go of the things that don't serve you. Some of you may have struggles with addiction. Choose today to be pure in your body. Let go of those addictions, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever you're addicted to. Try to find renewal in your body. Find renewal in your spirit, you know. Let that light warm you inside. Let yourself come to life and feel love again. Thank you for your donations, guys. City of the Shadow Seas donated $1.99. I'm starting to study tasteography, Bob. Oh, that's really good. Well, you know, the tea leaves are very powerful. And now that's a very herbal sort of magic. I love it. See if you can read green tea leaves. That would be good for right now. Robin Boston says $5. Thank you, Robin. Robin says, beautiful blessing. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. So my crown is, I got to have my crown adjusted. I just got it, so it's having a little trouble here. But I want you all to know, wherever you are, that you can claim this power of this day. You don't have to be a Wiccan. Just claim it. It's for the whole world. And you will find renewal in your life. So many of us get to points in our life, we just feel like we want to give up. But we don't have to give up. In fact, we're going to renew our lives. So I really want you to know there's power present in the universe. Wiccans all over the world are celebrating this day. And so there are a lot of blessings going up. And if I were you, whew, and I know I'm going to jump into the blessing stream. Just absorb some of that for myself, just to give myself some power. So let yourself be renewed, because Wiccans all over the world are sending out power. Oh, God bless you, Sandra. Blessings. $4.99. She says, thank you, blessings. Thank you, Sandra. Jessica just donated $4.99. Thank you guys for all your donations. Well, it's my pleasure. Robin says, thank you for all you do, Bob and Cola. Hey, listen, it's my pleasure to be here, my honor. You know. Now, some of you are saying, well, Psychic Bob, I don't know about this paganism. I'm kind of scared of it. Well, let me just tell you that the Wiccan religion and the pagan religions were the original religions on the earth. I follow Wicca, which is a Celtic pagan faith. I follow it more in the Celtic tradition. Oh, Brandon Caldwell, 777. Oh, blessings to you. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. And Brandon just says, thank you, namaste. You're welcome, Brandon. I'm glad you're here. You see? So, you know, you may not have a crown to wear. If you have a crown to wear, like I have, go put your crown on. It's a day for crowns. You know, Sabbats, we always wear crowns. If you don't have a crown, put on your spiritual crown. Say, I'm going to wear a sacred crown of light today. Visualize light, a crown of light on you. Let that renew you. Go out. If you didn't go today, what's dark here on the East Coast, and it may be dark where you are. If you didn't go out today, go out tomorrow. I want you to look at the sun. Thank the sun, because every day is getting more power. And maybe you'd like to light your own candle. If you have a candle tonight, wouldn't you, maybe we should light it. You know, maybe you could light your candle and ask a prayer. It's the Feast of Candles. In the Catholic tradition, they call it Candlemas. I prefer the pagan name of Imbulk, but it's also Candlemas, you know. I can't see it. Cat Tate says, shouldn't we use caution with Pan? We should use respect and reverence with every god. And so if you are approaching Pan with a heart of goodness and reverence, guess what? He will receive you, because Pan, in my experience, is a very loving God. I've prayed to him for many years, and his light has helped me immensely. So I'm not afraid of Pan. Now, where that fear comes from is, you know, Kat, that they used to say that Pan created panic. The word panic, like fear, comes from the god Pan. But he only induces panic in people that are, you know, trying to create problems. So if you're an evil person, you might suddenly have a fright from Pan. Like if somebody were coming at me, Pan would protect me, and he would induce a sudden fear. And I'll tell you, I've seen this. I had some stalkers a few years ago try to harass me, and I said a prayer to Pan as I was going down the street. They were like trying to block my way and start a fight. And I said, great God, Pan, I invoke you. Scatter my enemies. And all of a sudden, one of the guys goes, oh my God, I don't feel good. Something's really wrong. And the other guy goes, I don't know, something's weird. And they literally took off running. Pan intervened for me. So Pan is a powerful thing. Yes, we should be careful. We should honor all the gods. You know, always show respect and reverence. But you don't have to fear him, because he's a loving God for those who are loving. Oh, cymatics and divinities there. Hello, cymatics. 199. Thank you for your kind donation. Blessings to everyone on this magical day. It is a magical day, isn't it? I love it. I'm so glad you're here with us. Thank you for your kind support. That's really appreciated. Pam Mears is here. Hi, Pam. Good to see you. Pam says, Bob, I have a camera in the house that takes pictures and took one of me the other day. I had a ghost crown on my head. I also have a white mist over my face. And then the next time I had a black one. Oh, Pam, that's mystical. What that means is you're opening energies of channeling, of spiritual power. That's ectoplasm that makes those images. So I think that's wonderful. Very powerful. Baroness Kolbob says, maybe tonight I might watch Pan's Labyrinth. Oh, I love that movie. Have y'all seen Pan's Labyrinth? It's a Spanish film, but it's in English subtitle. Some of it might be dubbed. But anyways, I saw it was subtitled. But wonderful movie. And the god Pan features in that film. Very mystical, very magical. Love Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm just so glad you're here, and it's a real treat to be able to spend some time with you. Also, I thought I'd read a little bit here. I just forgot about this. I have Scott Cunningham's book of Incense, Oils, and Brews, and he gives a little formula if you want to make an incense for Imbulk. So, according to this book, hold on a second, an incense for Imbulk. All right, it says if you want to mix it up, all right, take some notes. It's 3 parts frankincense, 2 parts dragon's blood, 1/2 part red sandalwood, 1 part cinnamon, and a few drops of red wine. And it says to this mixture, so you mix those contents in a bowl in those proportions. And it says to this mixture, add a pinch of the first flower that is available in your area at the time of Imbulk, February 1st. Burn during Wiccan ceremonies on Imbulk or simply to attune with the symbolic rebirth of the sun, the fading of winter, and the promise of spring. Ooh, I love that. I'm really excited because the Sabbats for me, I have to tell you, it's funny. When I first started Wicca, I didn't really get the Sabbats because, until you go through the wheel of the year and go through the whole cycle, it doesn't really make sense. So my first year of doing Wicca, like 20 some years ago, my teacher was like, okay, we're coming up to Imbulk. It's the rebirth of the sun. And I just looked outside. I said, this is so cold. What do you mean spring? I just didn't understand it. But after I studied Wicca and really got into the energy of the Lord and the Lady, then now I came into the current. And so if you're not understanding it, that's okay. It takes maybe a year to go through the whole cycle to where you know the flow of power. Now I just get excited about the Sabbath. So for me, Imbulk is a really big day because I've been really looking forward to spring. I used to love winter. Winter used to be my favorite season, but I just think I'm getting older and I just don't like winter anymore. I really prefer the warmer weather. And so now we're here at Imbulk. I'm getting excited because I've seen the Sun Lord. I can feel just a little undercurrent of warmth. I'm seeing just the tiniest hint of green buds. And so I'm like, you know what? It's going to get better. We're on our way. And I put on my Green Man shirt today. So this heralds the coming of the Lord of spring. A Honey Drizzle. Yeah, that's a good question. Honey Drizzle says, Baron Bob, can you finish explaining why people shouldn't be afraid of pagan religions, please? That's a really good question, Honey Drizzle. Yes. So there is a lot of falsity that's gone into the world about pagans and Wicca and witchcraft. Honestly, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody here, but it was all started by the Catholic Church. And it's unfortunately continued by many Christian churches other than Catholic today. In the early days, The pagans had a beautiful faith. They were very happy. But what happened is the Catholic Church arose and came into Europe and started telling the pagan people, oh, those religions you follow are evil. All the gods you worship are demonic. And they took the most beautiful gods, such as the Green Man and Pan and the mystic Sun Lord, and they twisted what was a beautiful faith into the most evil and vile thing you could imagine. Unfortunately, many of the pagans were not very educated, and the Catholic Church got a hold of their mind and basically brainwashed them to start to believe that their own faith was somehow evil. The pagan faiths, if you study them, really are natural. They're about our life here. What is wrong with our lives? We're born into this earth. We should live in a way that we're in harmony. The pagan religions taught harmony with the earth. The Catholic Church of the day taught people that the earth was fallen and evil and would be burned up by God. And they told people, you don't need to honor the earth. You don't need the ancient ways. You need to quit that. And so what happened was that many people fell under the indoctrination and the lies of the church, and they stopped honoring the old ones. There's a wonderful movie called I'm blanking out the name of it. Angelica Houston is in it. I'd know it any other day. Mists of Avalon. There it is. Mists of Avalon. It's a book, but there's also a wonderful movie. And they show in the book and in the movie that as people withdraw from the pagan faiths, magic starts to fade from the world. There was a time in which the witches' magic, as we do today, was much more common. People had a faith in magic. Magic existed all around them. But with the coming of the Catholic Church and the destruction of pagan cultures, people turned away from magic. And magic, instead of being a joyous celebration of life, became a feared practice that somehow people had to step away from that. And people became disconnected from their own lives and their own connection to the earth. And this disconnection, sadly, continues to this very day. And this is why many Wiccans around the world are afraid to admit their faith. I'm very fortunate because I own my own business and I'm very well known. I've been able to be open about my Wiccan faith, and I've actually become, a voice for it, a spokesperson for many people who cannot be openly pagan or Wiccan. And see, what's happening is that there are still parts, at least in the United States, and I think in the United Kingdom as well. I've lived in both countries, where people's livelihoods are in danger. You can be fired from your job if your boss finds out you're a Wiccan. Now, in the United States, legally, they can't do that, but I've seen it done. I worked for a company once where there was a visiting company. There was some clients visiting, and one of the clients visiting was a Wiccan, and they openly wore a pentacle, and somebody asked them, they said they were Wiccan. Well, after the meeting, my boss came back to our group and he says, oh my God, do you know these people were visiting? One of the ladies was a Wiccan. God, he turns around and he says, if I had anybody on my staff wearing a pentacle and claimed to be Wiccan, he said, I'd fire them right away. But he didn't know that I was sitting right in his own group and was a Wiccan. Now, yes, I could have come out and made a big deal and, gone to HR. But at those days, I couldn't risk losing my job. And I was very, very poor in those days. And I needed every penny I could get. And I couldn't speak out. But once I became a psychic and my life changed, I was in a different position in life where I could start to tell people about my faith. And I don't have to fear being fired. And most of the public already knows I'm Wiccan and still supports me. But there was a time in my life where that revelation would have sabotaged my career, sabotaged my life. And so many pagans and Wiccans, unfortunately, are still, in many parts, at least in the United States, under that sort of pressure. And so, as Honey Drizzle was saying, why are people afraid? People are afraid because the propaganda that was started in the, Middle Ages by the Christian church, unfortunately is still being preached today. It is still influencing many people. And in many places, people, if they tell that they're Wiccan or pagan, they're viewed as satanic or demonic. And the truth is that the craft has nothing to do with Satan or demons. That was created by the church, the Christian church. Unfortunately, the god Pan, who's one of my deities, was transformed into the image of the devil. Let's see if I got a picture of Pan in this book. I have a statue of Pan, but I don't have it in here right now. Many times this is a Pan and the Green Man are conflagrated. They're put together. Here's a picture of the Green Man, but he looks kind of like Pan. He's got horns as well. So the Pan and Green Man, as I said, are oftentimes mixed together with elements of each in their iconography. But the devil, if you ask me what's the devil, it goes, oh, the devil has horns. The devil in the Bible is never shown with horns. There's no actual physical description of the devil. But the Christian church said, oh, well, we'll just take the pagan god and call that the devil. And so many people started to doubt the goodness of their own gods. And the church kept reinforcing that your devil has horns. Now, any of you have studied the iconography of the ancient pagans, you know that in ancient cultures, horns were signs of power. This is why I'm wearing antlers on my crown. Do you see those? The horns. As a high priest, we wear the crown of horns. I could easily wear goat horns. I have antlers on this crown, but any horned animal's symbol is a sign of the god and is worn by high priests. And as the high priest of the Order of the Brown Star, I wear the antlers in my office as high priest of the order. And the horns were ancient symbols of power and of deity. But the church took this most sacred of symbols and denigrated them. This is why I think it's so important that those of us who are able to, and again, I stress able to without being destroyed, that are Wicca, we need to be open. I am a voice for Wicca for many people. There are many people who write me all over the world who say, Bob, I admire you for standing up for Wicca. I live in a small town in the Bible Belt of the southern United States. If I came out wearing Wiccan symbols, my house would be burned down. I would be kicked out of town and lose my job, maybe even be killed. This is the reality of what is still going on in many places. So for those of us who are able to speak the truths, we have our work cut out for us, So that's why I'm open. I share the truths for many that cannot speak. Dragon's Tail Tarot said, hold on, Dragon Tail, I just saw a really cool statement that you made. Dragon Tail Tarot says, horns in the Bible was a mistranslation for rays of light. So there are statues of Moses with horns because of this. Yes, I actually have seen the statues of Moses with horns. But also horns were signs of power. So whether he wore horns or rays of light, the signs of power, I agree. Dragon Tail Tarot says that Lucifer was the light bringer. Therefore, they translated that into him having horns. Yes, I think so too. So you see, the sacred symbols were also twisted and used against as signs of evil. Rob in Boston says, I followed Wicca a long time ago, but it was frowned upon. I had to let it go when my kids were young and went to a Christian school. The school gave them a hard time because of me. Robin, I'm really sorry that happened to you. See, this is just wrong. Now, in a Christian school, they have the right to teach their doctrine. So I can't say they can't teach against something, but I think it's sad. I find it strange that a lot of the Christian church, and no offense to any Christians here, but I find it that in a lot of the Christian church, they spend all their time denigrating other people's faith. I say to the Christian church, I have nothing against the Christ, against Jesus. I recognize him as a form of God. So why don't you, as the Christian church, help me to love your God rather than attack my God? I'd much rather hear them say, I love Jesus. Oh, let me tell you about Jesus. Jesus is so cool. I can sit and talk with you for hours about that. But when you come at me with your jewelry is satanic, that pan is the devil, your horn crown means you're a Satan worshiper. You see, how are we going to have a dialogue? Dragontail says, I'm a born again pagan. I love that. You know what? I have a bumper sticker. I've moved it somewhere. I got to find. I have that sticker bumper sticker says, I'm a born again pagan. I agree with that. You know, I did a video a while back about that, probably a year or two ago. And I said, you know, I get Christians come up to me and say, are you born again? And I always say, yes, I'm a born again pagan. They don't know what to do with that. Joey's Mystery Magical says, I get attacked for following Wicca, and my goddess is Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte is actually an ancient pagan goddess, yes. Many people don't understand the Wiccan symbols and the pagan symbols. I'm sorry you get attacked, Joey, but I hope that you'll continue to follow your faith and show people. You know, we in Wicca, we don't go around preaching. But I hope we live in a way that demonstrates that light. And if we do that, then we're doing our work. Volcanic Ice says, some Wiccans sit with Jesus also. Absolutely. Is Jesus a form of the God? Well, if you study the Wiccan faith, he can absolutely be a form of the God. I have no problems with people saying, well, I'm Christo-pagan. The truth is that the early Christians, a lot of them were Christo-pagan. They would go to church on Sunday, but on Monday night, they'd be out celebrating the full moon with their pagan friends. The early Christians and pagans didn't have such conflict. They felt that the God came in all sorts of ways. This is kind of how I think about it. So if somebody invites me to their church, like I think I told you the other day on the tarot show, I said, you know, I used to have a Pentecostal friend. She used to invite me to church, and I'd go there to be talking about Jesus. I had no problem. I had a great time. I could worship Jesus too because he's the God for me, you know. And she used to say, you got to name it and claim it for Jesus. And I love that. So we need to name it and claim it today. Name and claim your blessing, whether for Jesus, whether it's for your God, the sun God, Pan, I don't care. Name it and claim it. Name and claim your power, you know. Robin Boston says, I'm a born again too, I guess. Well, you know, Robin, I'll just say to you, you know, at this time of Imbulk, it's a time of renewal. If you feel drawn to the Wiccan path, why not revisit it? Wicca is not a religion where you have to have a big, great repentance and come back and ask for forgiveness. All you have to do is turn to the gods and say, hey, I love you guys. Work with me. The gods are always present for us. And a sincere heart is all they ask for. You know, you don't have to make any great pledges of life and all that. In time, you may want to do an initiation and a self-initiation particularly. This book, I recommend you get Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary. It was the very first Wiccan book I read, and I still read it over and over. And it's always new to me. Like if I don't have any other Wiccan books, this book alone will be enough for me. But luckily, I have quite a few Wiccan books, but that book alone will get you on the path. I'm telling you, you know. And Robin, don't feel bad. Our culture right now is still set up to be anti-Wiccan. There's still a lot of Wiccan prejudice. There are many chaplains, Wiccan chaplains now that are going into prisons to help pagan prisoners have faith. Some of the chaplains of the traditional Christian faith in the prisons are trying to block Wiccans. They don't want that in the prison system. But it is a legally recognized faith that's recognized by the American military. And, you know, Robin, also I would tell you, you know, remember your kids are grown now. Nobody can stop you or take your kids away. In some parts of the country, there were cases, and Robin, you had a valid reason to feel afraid, where like if there was a divorce or, you know, sometimes social services would get involved if they found out a parent was pagan, they would go to the court and said they're doing satanic rituals. They might be doing children's sacrifice, all these lies about the pagan faith. And people would actually have their children taken out of the home. So, Robin, your fear doesn't make you weak. It's a valid fear. But unfortunately, at that time, you just didn't have a support structure. But now you do. Here at Spirit Channel, we are a support structure, and you are part of the team here, So I hope you'll re-explore the Wiccan faith. In Wicca, we don't proselytize. I guess I am proselytizing a little bit today because I'm proud of the faith. I love it. And I'm not hesitant to talk about it for anybody who wants to hear it, But the thing is that we don't tell anybody you have to be. This path is not for everybody. But if you're watching and you feel drawn to this, maybe you should explore it. Honey Drizzle says, I've heard many pagans hide behind other religions to prevent prejudice. That is true. I know some people that are not out there Wiccan and they still go to church on Sunday because their family expects it. They don't really feel it, but they do it just to keep the peace. I don't think anybody should be forced into a religion they don't want to participate, but it does occur. In some families, there's such a strong Christian or other religion, could be Buddhist, Hindu, Jewish faith, whatever, other than Wiccan. People will lose their entire families if they convert to Wicca openly. The craft, fortunately, has a history of being hidden. So you can be secret. Now, this book says, which is wonderful, Scott says somewhere in here, I don't know where it is right now, but he says, you don't have to tell anybody your faith. You don't have to owe anybody an explanation. So, find the path. One of the things I always tell young Wiccans is don't first go out as soon as you get into Wicca. It's very exciting when you first start studying because there's so much to learn. It's really exciting. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun religion. We have rituals and magic, all sort of cool stuff. I always tell people, don't go tell everybody right away that you're a Wiccan. Wait a few months. Really come to have that experience. It's sacred to you. Don't just blab it out and tell everybody, I'm a Wiccan now, I do witchcraft. A lot of people won't understand. A lot of people will not take you seriously. They'll go, it's just a phase. Get to know the faith. Make it sacred for yourself before you share it with anybody. And then you'll have the inner strength to continue with it, Honey Drizzle says, not everyone deserves to know your spiritual journey and knowledge. That is true. Robin Boston says, my own sister said she turned me into social services, but she didn't. Still, it was really scary. You see, Robin, she could have, and it could have been a problem. There are still many places in the United States, can't speak for all of Europe, but in the United States I can, where you will lose your kids just simply for being Wiccan. It's funny, in a country that was founded on freedom of religion, that we don't have freedom of religion really in this country in some areas. Baroness Kolobob says, I was Church of Scotland until I became spiritual and followed Wicca. You see, yes, see, Baroness Kolobob, you found the path that worked for you. And so that's nice to hear. I'm happy to hear that. Volcanic Ice says, it's disrespectful to yourself to share sacred knowledge and disempowering. Don't let your knowledge go to those who wish harm upon your people. Very well said, Volcanic Ice. I agree. Robin Bossa says, we really aren't free. Robin, let me tell you, I know that more than anybody. I can't explain it, but I think you know. Honey Drizzle makes a good point. She says, people act like they're open-minded when they're really not. That's true. I see that. And as long as your religion matches theirs, they're open-minded, right? Nigella for me says, my friend from the 6th grade believes in the Wiccan way, so it's wonderful to share it with her. It is. Hi, Amy Radcliffe. Amy's here. She says, any religion is supposed to be personal, no one's business. I agree. Wicca is one of the faiths that you don't have to be part of a coven. Now, back in the 1970s, there was a belief among Wiccans that only a witch could make a witch, which meant you had to be initiated into a formal coven to practice Wicca. Times have changed. In the 1980s, we saw the rise of the independent movement, and Scott Cunningham's book really was revolutionary for that, said that a Wiccan can be a Wiccan on their own. And the truth is, if you study history, many of the witches of old were not part of covens. They were the wise woman at the edge of the village who used to do healing and love spells, or the cunning man who could heal bones. There were magic practitioners in many small villages and communities who were not ever in a coven, but knew the knowledge for themselves. So they were really solitary. So the solitary tradition in Wicca is a valid way. And so some people will tell you, oh, well, you're not a real witch because you're solitary. Don't let anybody tell you that. It's your connections to the gods and to your faith that make you a Wiccan. Doesn't matter what any group says, Mm-hmm. Volcanic Ice says, see now, Bob, I'm confused. Doesn't a witch have to be ordained? Well, we're talking about Volcanic Ice. It's a good question. We're talking about two different issues. There is initiation, and then there's ordination. They're two different processes. Initiation, well, let me break it down. There's three processes. There's dedication, then initiation, and for some, there's ordination. But you don't have to have all three. Dedication is when you first start studying and you find, like, I really think I want to follow this path. Then you might do a small ritual to say, I'm dedicating myself to the path. You might offer your books on your altar as a sign of your commitment, say some prayers. After a full year and a day of study, once you walk through the whole cycle of the year, it takes a year to become a real witch. Then you can do an initiation. An initiation brings you into the priesthood of the craft. The priesthood of the craft is recognized among Wiccans. Any initiated Wiccan is a priest or priestess of the craft. Now, for some, like myself, who also want to do open public work with even the non-pagan community, there's our light. Just for those of you new, just look at the light. There's a third step, which could be ordination. Ordination is a legal process where you became legally ordained by the state, by the government, to practice as a minister, a priest, a ministerial candidate of the religion. I happen to have all three. I was dedicated. I had initiation. I went through 3 degrees of initiation, first, second, and third degree. And then I went through ordination through the state because I'm a state licensed minister. I do weddings and I can do prison chaplain work and things like that. Ordination is not essential in Wicca because Wiccans recognize the validity of the priesthood just from Wiccan initiation. If you want to go into the larger world, you may want to take an ordination from the state, but the state's ordination is not really part of Wicca. It's an independent process that further gives you power in the material world to operate. So I don't know if that makes it clear. I hope that helps with that. Well, guys, I am so glad you're here today, and I want to say thank you. And Nigella for me says, some of the strongest Christians I've known have shown me the most unkindness for my belief, but I don't care at all. I'm happy with my belief. They are wrong for their judgment and unkind ways. I've seen this as well, Nigella. It's sad to me, but it is true that there are those who will go out of their way to be hurtful and hateful. I walk around in my neighborhood openly wearing pentagrams, wearing Green Man, wearing Pan. And once in a while, I will get some devout Christian, God love them, who wants to come up and just start on me. They don't even know me from Adam, but they're going to come up and just start. And usually what I do is I just stay silent. I said, interesting, And then I'll turn the tables on them and I'll say, well, you say this is an evil symbol, but really what is it? Who is my necklace? They said, well, that's Satan you're wearing. I said, no, it's not. It's the great god Pan. And I said, tell me about Pan. What do you know about Pan? Well, most of them go, I don't know. Or if I'm wearing a pentacle, I'll say, what does the pentagram mean, or pentacle? Give me a detailed explanation. And they can't do it. And so then I use that as an opportunity to educate them. And most of them freak out and run away. I don't have to scream at them. A lot of them will scream at me, you're evil, you're going to hell, you're a God's enemy. And I say, I have no enemies in the spirit world. I love God. I love your Christ. Jesus were to walk into the room today, I would be thrilled. I have no problem with that. See, they misunderstand us. But educate where you can. Don't battle for Wicca. We don't have to be crusaders for Wicca. Just speak our truth quietly and clearly. That's what the Desiderata. Desiderata is a wonderful poem. And it says, speak your truth quietly and clearly. That's all you have to do, Or you don't even have to do that. You don't have to argue or justify your faith to anybody. Now, again, no offense to anybody who's here today. I said, well, I'm a Christian. Are you against? I'm not against anybody. I'm just saying I have received abusive treatment as well at the hands of some so-called, I put that in quote, Christians, Well, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up here. It's getting late. Psychic Bob's got more work to do tonight. I want to say thank you to all you've been calling for readings. I have a little bit of a backlog. I will get to you, and I will get you on the schedule here in the next few days, so bear with me, all right? But I hope wherever you are, you're having a wonderful Imbulk. And just remember that tonight, this candle is burning for all of you. We've done our invocation. We've called the great, powerful sun god. And I'm going to let this candle burn for all of you. So if you need a blessing, if you feel you've lost your way, maybe you need healing, emotional, physical, spiritual. Maybe you've been through trauma and you need recovery. Maybe you just feel lost and unfocused. Well, it doesn't matter what you're feeling. Know that this candle is sitting tonight and it is burning for you. And so this is for all of you. And I wish all of you a truly blessed and happy Imbulk. And may the light of the God be with you. May you be anointed, renewed, strengthened, and blessed. Oh, thank you, Robin. Robin says, great talk, great blessings, Stan. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for the donations for all of you donated as well. And thank you for being here. Listen, make sure to visit my website, PsychicBob.com. Register for the Psychic Development class there, or send me an email if you want to be on Psychic Bob's Inner Circle. So I have 2 spots left. I'd love to fill them. Come and jump in. First come, first serve, okay? Thank you for being here. And we'll see you tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday, Vlog Thursday. We're going to go out. It probably will be close to 1 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to do a live broadcast, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll be outside tomorrow. I'll be stomping around in my Doc Martens, seeing what's going on out in the world. And I hope you'll join us then for that. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon around 1 p.m. I'll be broadcasting live. Until then, may all of you always have a happy Imbulk. May you always blessed be. Good night.